People deluded. Now, with the transfer window being open, we might as well have some fun with it. You don't know I'm an Arsenal fan, but I will talk about whatever I bloody want on my channel. If I want to talk about Spurs youngsters and Spurs players, I will. United players, I will. Talk about football in general. No one can't tell me I'm not an Arsenal fan. No one can't tell me I'm not a football fan. There'll be a genius in the comments doing exactly that, obviously. But might as well talk about the transfers. Let's start with Arsenal. Now, if we get Saliba and Turney, people, I'm not expecting fireworks from either player, especially Saliba, for all his potential. I feel because Arsenal's desperation for a competent centre-half and someone that can just do their job, I feel people, if he does, maybe, as much as I don't want him to go back on loan to Saint Etienne, maybe that's the best thing for him in terms of expectations, because he's a young man, he's a young, inexperienced man. How many career appearances has he made? He's got the potential and he's got the physicalness and he's a good defender, the signs are there, but he's not the finished article. And Carl were crying for a centre-half so much, I feel fans might, he's a young player, will go through tough and good moments, might be putting unfair expectations on him. Now, that's what you got to deal with being a footballer, but at the end of the day, we need to remember he's, 18, 19, we need to be easy in it. He will have times, as I keep preaching in every vid, times where he's superb, times where he does things you can't question. His positioning might be wrong, stepping out when you need to step out, playing people on side, following runners. He might get bullied at set pieces. Varane's a quality centre-half, but if you go back to, I believe, the 2014 World Cup, did Germany play France? Or I could be wrong, he might even be further back than that. But whatever game France bucked Germany, I'm so sure, people. Go and look at what Matt Hummels did to Varane on the set pieces. Absolutely bullied him. Go and look at Deluded against Llorente. Now, people can joke at Llorente's ability as a footballer and all these things, but he's a physically developed man against a young man in Deluded. When he came on for Spurs against Ajax, you saw the difference in it. So bringing that back to Saliba, I mean, he bullied him. Come back to Saliba. He's a young G. These things will happen, innit? But for me, I'm at the level now. I do believe Socrates has to play card. We need an experienced individual, a young G's for just 38 games. They're gonna get ripped in it, and I believe if they believe they're playing week in week out, they might get some complacency. So 3 to 5 centre halves competing is ideal in it. But I believe for me, because of what I don't, despite all of that, I can't see him doing any worse than some of the more experienced individuals at this club. So I'm at the point personally, people. We signed Leno last season. Whatever you say about his ability, he's a youngish sort of keeper. So him, Holding, Socrates / Saliba, a new left back in Turney obviously coming in, Bellerin when fit. Back five we move forward with, and we put an emphasis on defending, learning how to defend. This, you might not see the benefits in the first season, but in the third season, fourth season, this will come to maturity. And again, it's all about the system, because these individuals will get suspended, injuries, just simply being out the side. We've got to be able to do it, people. There's sides in the Prem. Obviously, you will miss certain players and you'll see the drop-off in quality. But there's certain teams in the Prem, I believe, are so well-drilled defensively, they could miss their key centre-halves for a couple of games. You won't see it, people. So for me, it's back four is crucial. If we can get them 2 signings, it's a good thing for us. Or defender and left-back of some capacity, assuming we don't bring them ones there in, people. That's me personally. Obviously, I would love Zaha and wingers we've been linked with and midfielders and all of these sort of things. A right back as well, but the money don't stretch and we just have to make do what we make do with. Moving on to our rivals Spurs, I'm not going to lie, Ndombele, that's a super sign. And I was praying to God all the other big teams in Europe would patent that one, but allegedly Pochettino's convinced him 60 odd million to depart the club. Lyon are living, comfortable profit on what they paid 20 or whatever, whenever they got him. I swear they got him on loan first and then paid that. Comfortable profit. I think Spurs are going to make that bread. I hope not now, obviously, but Spurs are going to make that bread back if he becomes the player I and a lot of people believe he can be. I believe the first thing Pochettino would have to do is probably, over the next few months, define what midfield he wants to be, because he can play in a couple of roles in midfield and do them well. I think his concentration at times, his passing is very good, but being focused and stuff like that can improve, because he could let the team down. He's still a young sort of man, but I think he could develop and be a quality signing, and he's one of these sort of players. Eventually, you see the Madrids and these teams there come calling. So if they sign him, that's a big signing in their midfield. But like I said, Spurs fans, banner in the thing for one moment. If he signs for you lot, just like that, he's overrated. United fans, from one ops to another, United fans. Now, Wan-Bissaka, similar to Ndombele, the minute he puts on the shirt, it's a dead thing, but it's a good signing for United. I feel with potential and things like that and all the buzzwords in potential, which some of that clearly played a part in the signing of him, I think it's a decent deal. What is it, 50 million or so? Forgive me if I'm wrong. I've seen that fee floated around. decent fee. He can become a decent sort of defender. He actually can defend. I know some United fans will say what they want about Young. Diallo, he's really inexperienced, and for me, he's not probably developed. I'm not saying he's rubbish or anything, but I don't think he's quite grasped evolving to the next level and improving as quickly as possible, because it was a shock to see him involved at under 20 World Cup action, really and truly. He should be in Portugal's 21s and that, probably pushing in first team. He is very inexperienced, should have made more appearances at United, probably holding down the shirt. I think he's quite good going forward. Defensively, he's a bit of a liability. That's probably a big reason into Jan Bissaka. I feel Bissaka is steady going forward. Probably not the most eye-catching of players going forward, but he's decent. Defensively, he can defend. He can become a competent defender. Not everyone must be stars. Some players must be reliable, and I think Bissaka can do that. He relishes defending. He didn't have the best of games one time in the England under-21s championships, and he will have moments like that. He's still a young man, but I think that's a good signing for United. For him, obviously, when we put banter aside, playing for United, it's a big club, the history and things like that, the challenge of bringing them back to the level they once were, being a part of that with other young players under a manager with the willingness to play them and things like that as well, can all play a part, people. And it'll be interesting to see what they do with at right back, because I don't think the lot will go out on loan. I think them two will probably fight it out. Young might make some appearances because he signed a new deal, but I feel it's maybe like similar to what could happen with Koscielny and maybe Monreal. They're just there for experience. They'll play a couple games, but they're more a voice in and around and stuff, and reminding of the United way and being a professional and all of the things that them back in my day merchants on the TV. Like, I think it's a decent signing for United, man. But like Ndombele, if he comes, he's overrated. What other news have I seen, man? I've seen, obviously, Gomez for Everton's been made permanently. Apparently, they want Neres as well from Ajax. That'll be a good signing with Richarlison. Apparently, Maguire, obviously, Thingy are both going for him in United, and City probably favour City. What other mad transfers are there? We've obviously got the Pogba every day. It's a link with a new club. I'm interested to see what happens there. Interested to see what happens with Neymar, people, because it was a shock that he left PSG. It's a shock that he's actually looking feasible that he could return to Barcelona. I don't know if it happens, but it looks feasible. Obviously, what actually happens in this window is a crazy one, and and things like that. But I do think this could be a mad summer where a couple of stars move. If I had to give signing best business I've seen so far, I think collectively Juventus are handling their business really and truly in regards to the market. I got to give it to Spurs as well for Ndombele. Like I said, man, it burns that he's signing for them, but credit where due, that's a big signing. I think they actually linked with Max Clark of Leeds, and forgive me if I'm wrong, if he's been agreed and certain things might get done in that incident, people. United have also signed Daniel James as well. Now, I haven't seen much of Daniel James. The only times I really saw him a couple of times watching the Championship, but really focused watching him like that was when City played them. So I ain't seen much. He looks like a decent dribbler and he looks like a committed individual. Obviously, he's probably not the most screaming of names and stuff, but it's not about that. It's about competency and consistency. And when you've got that, you can be anything in football. So, yeah, as for my general, just points in regards to football, just opinions, people, I thought, let me throw this little vid together. Why not? Just because I'm an Arsenal fan and called the Deluded Gooner and things like, well, not I'm called Deluded Gooner in that, DG preference. But talk about football. Why not just talk about football in general, people? I'm keen to see Barcelona's situation as well, with obviously Coutinho. If Neymar comes back, if I was Barca, I'd actually give Coutinho another season and playing with Neymar. There would be some good options, but they've got Neymar, they've got Coutinho. They would have Neymar, they've got Coutinho, Dembele, Messi's obviously king. Suarez isn't done yet. There's many different things going on at that club. Keen to see what happens with Eriksen as well at Spurs. Couple transfers, man, especially the ones that I'm seeing. Bare man are contracted until 2020, man, and I really think Wenger had a point for everything people might say about players are gonna just depart on free transfers nowadays. Obviously, in the manager front, I'm keen to see Lampard how he does complete that move to Chelsea allegedly. Keen to see. Obviously, I'm not going to be watching Anderlecht religiously, but I'm going to keep an eye out for company and things like that, man. I'm always interested to see players like that and projects like that. But in regards to this general vid, people, I really haven't got much more to add, so I'm not going to keep you here any longer. Final note, I'm also keen to see Arsenal, what we do with our young players and where we loan them out, or if players will get chances. But in regards to everything I've got to say, people, I don't need to be here any longer, so people, Deluded. comment, subscribe, like the vid for me. Don't get away without liking the vid, man. I know you lot go crazy and you lot always commenting and liking, but like the vid, subscribe, share up the thing for me. People, thank you very much for watching me, man. DG.